Oh, oh, two good flakes right off the bat. Oh my goodness.
For the last 4 months, I have been obsessed with prospecting. I've gone out every weekend since the start of the year to look for gold, and while all the work has been fun, I haven't really found much.
I saw a glimmer. You'll have to take my word for it, but there is a tiny piece. I mean, it's the tiniest piece ever, but
I've hiked into remote spots, camped overnight, lived out of my van for weeks at a time, so I've certainly put the hours in, but this is a hard hobby, especially one to teach yourself. There are rules, regulations, areas that simply don't have gold.
the spot was a bit of a dud. I'm going to try again somewhere else.
Not to mention the technique and skill required to get gold once you do find a place that has it. For all the effort I've put in, most of what I've found so far is what we call flour gold, which means it's about the same size as baking flour. And I found exactly 2 pickers, which means they were pieces big enough to actually pluck up. After weeks of trying, I was ready to find more. So I joined a club which gave me access to my first gold claim. Not a random creek or me trying to find specks and maybe there's gold here washes, but an honest to God gold claim. So I headed out to the claim and camped for 4 days, putting a solid 48 hours into prospecting. And at the end, I had to ask myself, is all this worth it?
Before we jump in this one, we probably should define what worth it means. Now, I don't prospect to retire. I have a job. It's kind of like fishing for me. I don't go fishing to feed the family. I go fishing because it's fun. It's fun to be outside. It's nice to be on the creek. But I want to see if I can actually make a profit out of this. So that's how we'll define worth it in this video.
Let's do a little bit of math. The club, which gives me access to the claim, is $40 a year. I was there for 4 days, which comes to about 44 cents. Great start. Second, and by far the largest expense, was gas. It was a 360-mile round trip to the claim, and with gas at $4.19, I paid a $65.36 just to get to the claim. Finally, onto the gold. Right now, gold is worth $152 a gram, which honestly is the best thing working for me. These high gold prices are really going to make this trip possible. All this adds up, I have to find exactly 0.43 grams of gold to make this trip financially worth it. And that seems totally doable. Now that I had a number to chase, I was really excited to get going, but I had to finish work before I started work. Since I had never been on this claim, let alone the county, my strategy for the first few hours was to just find a spot someone else had worked and start there. I really just wanted to start digging and get my first pan out of the way.
I think we're gonna try here. I bumped into a guy who was up here earlier today and he said he knocked some material down for me to try. I'm not gonna take too much of his material, but he said I could do a couple pans and I'm just gonna see if this spot will get the first flake of the day, and I'm really excited to get started. I'm already kind of behind. It's already late in the afternoon, but I think this is a great place to start. Let's get the bucket filled. Wade, if you're watching, thank you for knocking some material down for me. I found this at a thrift store. It's a waste basket, but it fits perfectly in my bucket. I just added some handles here, and it's like the best classifier. Pretty good. Let's throw it over here. All right, that's probably enough for a first pan. There we go. Oh, two good flakes right off the bat. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, that's a great sign. Beautiful. Two really nice flakes to start.
With my first flakes established, I really wanted to get going, so I broke out old Bodie, my homemade sluice box, and got to work processing material. Now, normally I skip around and try to speed things up, but I drag this out a tiny bit so you can see just how much effort goes into every single pan. It's not just scooping up dirt and going to town, it's prying and picking material from a damp hole, classifying it so you don't have big rocks getting in the way, and doing that for an entire bucket. Then you either pan it or run it through a sluice box just to see if you have a flake or two. Now multiply this for hours and hours, and you see that it is a ton of work. Now, all that being said, it is a satisfying process. I wouldn't be doing it for hours unless I wasn't enjoying it, and I really do enjoy every single step. So while it is a ton of work, it's also a lot of fun.
I think we got a picker. Look at that. I think that one right there is a picker. That's a nugget! Oh man! Well, I don't know if it's a nugget, but it's the biggest piece I've ever got. Look at that. That is... Oh yeah. Oh, I could pick it up. There were also a few other nice flakes in here too. I mean, that's just monster. That is a monster Utah piece right there. I think we're doing pretty good for this challenge, to be honest. I think we're doing really good, because I have no clue. I've never weighed any of my gold. Never weighed any of it. I kind of don't want to know. But that is, wow. Look, in this one pan, 1, 2, 3, 4 flakes and a couple tiny, 4 flakes, a picker, and a few. Look at that. That's from a half bucket. Just a half bucket. That's a very good piece. I am having just an absolute blast out here, and I just finished work. I think that was my 3rd or 4th pan total, and I've already found a few flakes, that gigantic piece. I'm calling it gigantic. It's just so fun. It's so much fun. Claims are awesome.
I had a really good start to the challenge, but things slowed down after I got that big piece, and I knew it was going to get cold as soon as the sun set. So I put the bucket down, got my bed ready for the night, made some dinner, brushed my teeth, and headed to bed, excited about the next day. My friend Jesse arrived late in the night, far past my bedtime, so it was a nice surprise waking up to him there. I've done most of my panning trips alone, and having company while looking for gold makes it that much better. It was a super chilly morning, but beautiful, and we were both excited to get going and find our first flakes of the day. Jesse has only been prospecting for a few weeks and couldn't believe the gold I found the day before. Honestly, neither could I. So the side quest of the day was to find his first picker. Prospecting's weird. Some days you're on it, and some days you're not. You can be doing the exact same thing you were doing the day before and not get anything. And the night before, the claim was teasing me, because that morning we hardly found anything. We both got on the board for the day, but it was just tiny pieces of flour gold. No flakes, and definitely no pickers. It's generally not a great idea to stay in the same spot if you're not doing well. And the claim is over 120 acres, so we decided to move on and try somewhere else. But I certainly lost the head start that I had going the day before.
Okay, so Jesse and I worked here for quite a little bit, but Jesse got a nice little piece. I got skunked for 3 buckets in a row. So we're gonna take advantage of this nice day and head further up.
We spent the next few hours scouting the claim, which is something we probably should have started with. Getting familiar with the geology, the pattern of the creek, and most importantly where others were digging helped a lot over the next few days.
I've been exploring the claim a little bit and I found a spot that's seriously worked. In fact, I think someone was maybe here yesterday because they left a bunch of buckets up here. But this is a big work area. So I figured I would just metal detect and see if they might have missed anything. Today has not been nearly as successful as yesterday, and we're working hard at it. We're trying everything, every couple pans. We'll get like 1 or 2 specks, but nothing like yesterday. So we're breaking this little sluices out. Jesse's setting his up down there, and we're just trying along under this hill here because there's nothing in the actual creek. Finally got on some good stuff here. It's not going to show up in the GoPro, but well, maybe it does.
After hours of digging, panning, and looking for gold all over the claim, that one flake was the only notable piece I found all day. I needed to reset, so I headed back to the campsite to find wood and get a fire going for the night. We still had a full day on Sunday to continue the challenge, but at this point we were way behind. The luck of Friday night simply wouldn't be enough. I hadn't looked at the gold I found yet, but I knew it wasn't 0.43 grams. In order to get back on track with the challenge, I didn't record as much the next day and focused on finding gold. Unfortunately, it was a lot like the day before.
I've kind of been skunked again today, so I decided to hike all the way up the claim, up a very, very steep forest road, barely a road actually, and I got to the other edge of our claim boundary. So I'm gonna work in here, and you can see there's definitely been some big work done before. This thing is huge. Some huge pipe here. I don't really know what exactly they were doing, but oops, I'll work in here a little bit and see if we have any more luck.
It's not an easy hobby. If they were easy, everyone would be doing it.
This is very much the final stretch. I came in Friday night and it's now Monday morning, so I've been living out of my car for a few days, digging nonstop every day. So I'm getting pretty close to that 48 hours. Either way, I have to go home today. So this is the final stretch. We'll see if it was all worth it. I've been really bad about leaving something important and hiking way up, and then I'll hike way down. I think yesterday I did about 5 miles of hiking alone. I'm not going far today though.
Jesse had to leave the night before, so with him gone, I decided to go right back to where I started, to where I found those very first flakes.
All right, one little one. It's a good sign for the first pan of the day though.
Monday morning was starting to shape up a lot like Friday night. Every pan and bucket was producing flakes and small pickers.
Just maybe did the best bucket I've ever done. Here it is.
Look at the size of these things. But like Friday night, Monday was a work day, and I didn't get nearly as much time digging as I hoped I would. And before long, it was already time to go.
I have not looked at my gold yet. I have not even looked at it. I'm like kind of nervous too. I think I did pretty good, and I'll check it at home, but time to get out of here. So let's see how much we got. It was a lot of work, and I have no clue. I have not looked at this yet either.
Jeez.
Oh man. So that rock in there, it was setting my metal detector off. Oh.
Wow.
look at all that.
Oh my gosh, look at the chunk. Look at the chunk.
I know, there's a few. Wow, that looks really good. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Let's see. Oh, wow. Dang, we are not even close. This is a weird feeling because it's both more and less than I thought it would be at the same time. And I'm not really sure how to describe this feeling. It's about half, a little more than half of what we needed. And it was a ton of work to get even that much. But I suppose if I carpooled with Jesse, we'd split the gas in half and we would be much, much closer to a financially worth it goal. Also, we totally got skunked on Sunday, which was almost a whole at least 12 hours of looking, maybe 10 hours of looking, that we only found a little tiny bit. And on top of all this, I have 3 buckets from the claim that I still have to go through. So I feel like I could get this to at least 0.35 grams. Now, was this financially worth it? Debatable. I probably could make it financially worth it. I definitely wouldn't quit my day job to do this, but it was definitely worth it for me. It was so much fun to be out there for 4 days and really mining for 2 of those days, and every one of those little pieces of gold it gives you an adrenaline rush when you find it. It's like catching a fish, and I had a blast every second I was out there. So it was definitely worth it to me. So in the end, I would say it's still worth it. Is it financially worth it? Not yet, but I think I can do better.
I know Utah isn't the best gold state, and I know I was only using small hand tools, but I don't want to make excuses because that 0.24 doesn't discourage me at all. I'll be back, and next time I'll be walking away with more. Thanks for watching.